Everybody, welcome to the BBSB podcast. And today we're going to be talking about more NBA, but this time we're going to kind of keep it around the awards, so to say. And we're going to start off with that. So if we were to say, who's your guys' MVP? Right now, top three, what I've been seeing, and there haven't been a top three out on Instagram or Twitter, nothing yet. But what I've been seeing is it's either going to be SGA, it's going to be Jokic, it's going to be Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys think is this year's MVP?
Yeah, got it.
Me first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, me personally, I'm going to just say SGA. You know, a lot of different things. Voter fatigue, one, because of Jokic. Like, Jokic deserves it just as much, I feel like. But best player on the best team, I feel like if they don't overthink it, you know, it should go to SGA.
Yep. Same. I got SGA. I've been on the SGA bandwagon for a minute. And it's different of saying like who's better and who's going to be the MVP. I think the 68 wins. I think 33 5-5, as well as just having the highest plus minus. Having he has a whole bunch of stuff he's done. Like he's a leading scorer without his free throws. Like he's been insane this year.
Mm-hmm.
But no like knockoff to Jokic. But yeah. That's sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go off and say my boy Jokic. I mean, we already had this conversation, but Jokic, I mean, I understand everybody for SGA. I mean,
wait,
obviously,
are you saying that Jokic should or Jokic is?
I think Jokic is the MVP. I think he's the MVP.
He will be.
He is the
okay.
Dude, he's averaging a triple-double right now.
What do you think they're going to vote? Do you think they're going to vote for Jokic?
Who's going to vote for Jokic? Oh,
no, do you think
the
he's
audience?
going to win the award?
Oh,
no, do you think he's going to win the award? I'm just saying. That's the question.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win the award. I think, bro, my thing is this. I understand SGA's thing. SGA is also on the number one team in the freaking National Basketball Association. Like, don't get me wrong. He's led that team to a 1 seed and a 60-something win.
68, yeah.
68 win? Okay, I don't need your commentary. Anyways.
Almost 70.
But Jokic is just having an historic season. 30-point triple-double. That's what he's averaging. He just had a 60-point triple-double the other night. Like, you don't see people be doing that, bro. Like, just out the blue. So I do think not Giannis, but Jokic will win MVP. Now let's head over to Depoy. What I've seen is top three. I saw Mobley, Draymond, and then Ray Ray's boy Dyson Daniels. Who's getting that award?
I'll go first. I think just off of how the awards usually picked, they usually don't pick guards. Right? For some reason, they don't. They value rim protection more than actual on-ball defense, which is, I guess it's an argument, but I think both are very valuable. But I think they value rim protection more, which is why I say Evan Mobley. Draymond has kind of made a run and made a case for himself, kind of because he was doing what we're doing. He was starting to talk about it on podcasts and shit. But I think Evan has just been playing at such a high level for so long. So, yeah, I'd go Evan Mobley.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Evan Mobley to win it. Not that I really wanted Dyson Daniels to win it. I mean, just averaging like 3-4 steals a game is just... by itself is just insane. Like, you hear guys average 2 blocks. Okay, that's cool. Everybody averages 1.9 or 2.2 or something like that. That's cool. But averaging over 3 steals in a season is pretty insane. Now, I like Marcel said, I think rim protection is what they more go for. Like, if Wemby played all his games, I think Wemby would have obviously been the depoy. I think everybody would agree with that. But next up is Mobley. So Mobley will more than likely win it for sure.
Dang, I feel like I should be different now again.
You want to be different?
Yeah.
Right, be different, bro.
So, Dyson Daniels is like my, I guess, like pick who I would tell was the DPOY, who I would select, but who I think is going to win. Even though Mobley's the front runner now, I'll still go Draymond. Just because
That's
of
different.
the 1 through 5 versatility, I feel like you can make the case Mobley can't switch onto guards.
Yeah.
Not all guards. Like, the guards who aren't as dynamic, aren't as quick, he can kind of just out-length them, chase them down. They're still going to beat them, but chase them down at the rim. But the top end guards in the league, I think Draymond does a better job on those guys. In terms of guarding the paint, yeah, Mobley has that edge, but Draymond's still a really, really solid defender down low, and he's not like just gets taken advantage of because of his size down there, right? So even though Mobley's a front runner right now, I think Draymond might sneak back into it.
All right, let's go Rookie of the Year. Right now, what I've been seeing for a top 3 is I've been seeing Stephon Castle, I've been seeing Ricochet, and then I've also been seeing Jalen Wells. Who do we think is Rookie of the Year? In my personal opinion, I think it's Stephon Castle. I think he's been doing a lot as a rookie. And now, granted, I will say I'm going to give him a shout-out too. Jared McCain, you should have been Rookie of the Year. But, circumstances happen. You get hurt. You miss a lot of games. You're out for the season. Stuff happens like that. So I do want to give him a shout-out. He should be Rookie of the Year. I think, if anything, he'll be a most improved player next year. But that's a whole nother conversation. That's for another episode. But right now, if we're talking about Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. I think Jalen Wells can make a debate too. But if we're talking about who's produced more for their team, I think Stephon Castle has. I'll give it to Stephon. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's going to be Castle. Just how long he's been doing it. He's been kind of pretty consistently been playing well. I'm just calling him Big Z because I can't say his name right. Ricochet or whatever.
Or Ricochet.
He actually, this past kind of month, he's been playing a lot better than what he was at the start of the year. So is guys like Sar. Sar has been playing a lot better. And if those guys were playing the way they've been, the whole year, they would have more of a conversation. Obviously, Jared McCain got hurt, and he was, the front runner. But Castle, he's been good, too. I don't want to discredit Castle. Castle's been good, too. He's kind of help the Spurs win a couple games too. So
yeah, I mean it's gonna be Castle. I feel like Castle is able to showcase what he has to offer with all the injuries and along with the Spurs just not really competing for anything. So he's been able to showcase and he's looked really good. But I do agree that Alex Sarr has been playing really well and bright future. But just hasn't put together enough of a case, especially with them tanking a little harder in terms of playing their rookies limited minutes. Yeah. And then Ricochet, again, I do like him too. He's a really good off-ball wing, and he fits the Hawks well. I can see now why they drafted him at 1, but at the same time, just doesn't have enough of a case in terms of consistent three-point shooting and. The numbers just don't jump out at you, along with the efficiency. And Castle has a most well-rounded game, along with impacting the game on defense too, I believe. So it's gonna go to Castle. Can't be different on that one.
Nah. Now we have 6th man of the year. 6th man, I've been seeing the final 3 is Payne Pritchard, Malik Beasley, and the boy Ty Jerome. Now. Who do we think? And for those of you guys who don't know who Ty Jerome is, he plays on the Cavs. But who do we think 6th man of the year is? I think it should be anonymous, but let me just hear you guys' thoughts.
You think it should be anonymous? Who do you have?
Payne Pritchard.
Really? Okay.
Well, you told me you have somebody different. I mean, Payton Pritchard, he's been doing his thing. Even when he got his chances and, his opportunities to start when, guys would be having their rest days and, some guys are hurt. Like, Drew Holiday was out for a minute. Hurt my fantasy team, but that's not the point.
For you.
Yeah. Him and Derek White come by.
Yeah, he's getting his buckets, though. He could, whether he's a starter, whether he's a six man, he's still getting his buckets. He just had the most threes in Celtics history in a season. That's pretty impressive for just coming off the bench and doing that. Yeah. So, I don't know what you guys' thoughts.
I'm not going to lie, in terms of that boy nice metric, Ty Jerome's game is just kind of filthy, but I got to go Payne Pritchard still. Malik Beasley, I feel like he's a fake 6 man. Yeah, he comes off the bench, but he essentially starts for.
Because I think he didn't start the first game, but then after that he started starting a little bit because I think guys got hurt, but then he went back to the 6 man role.
Here's what happened. All right, so Tim Hardaway Jr. starts for them. Tim Hardaway Jr. got hurt. He Malik Beasley was inserted in the starting lineup. It doesn't matter whether he starts or is off the bench. He is doing the same exact thing. He gets the same exact opportunity.
Certified shot chucker.
Yeah, and Pritchard and Ty Jerome, we've seen when their opportunity comes to play around 40, their production just skyrockets. So Peyton Pritchard is my sixth man of the year based on, obviously his shooting and just in those limited spurts too, what he brings to the table. I know Ty Jerome and him are similar archetypes, but Pritchard has provided more for the Celtics, in my opinion, even with the same kind of role than Ty Jerome.
I actually was gonna say Ty Jerome. I didn't know Peyton was in a conversation. Obviously, I know the reason, but I didn't know who were the finalists. For
Wait. What did you just say?
Ty Jerome.
I didn't know Peyton Pritchard was in a finalist. I didn't know any of the finalists. I thought it was gonna be Westbrook.
Oh, I thought you said you picked Ty Jerome.
Oh, I did pick Ty Jerome.
Oh my god!
Right? I think, and you talked a lot about that. Darius Garland staying on the court, or even Donovan Mitchell when those two go off. But with Ty Jerome, he's kind of allowed them to kind of rest and take a break, right? Because the way he's been handling the ball has been amazing. His scoring has been pretty amazing. Just because, I remember watching Virginia, he's kind of doing the same things. He's just so smart. He's a good playmaker. He can shoot the ball. He's solid on defense. It was kind of surprising because his length, But, I think he's one of the reasons why they won so many games this year and why they're the first seed. But,
Most improved player.
Most improved player. So what I've seen from most improved, and let me just go here real quick. I've seen Cade. I've seen Dyson Daniels, but I've also seen the boy Zubac, who's leading the votes right now. Now, one name I don't see on here, and I'm gonna give him a honorable mention because I think, in my humble opinion, he's no, definitely not LaMelo Ball. I would say DeAndre Hunter should be in that conversation for most improved.
Kyle Kuzma.
I know, but you gotta hear me out though. When DeAndre Hunter would come off the bench, he's doing his thing. When he was with Atlanta, when he was with Atlanta and with Cleveland, he was doing his thing. He was putting up big time numbers.
Yeah. He started on the Hawks, didn't he?
No, he came off the bench because Jalen Johnson was starting over him.
No, it was Hunter and Jalen Johnson. They played together.
No.
Yeah, Risha Shea was off the bench.
Look it up.
No, I'm telling you, DeAndre Hunter came off the bench.
I'm trying to tell you, DeAndre Hunter started.
But anyways,
go ahead.
But if we're gonna say most improved, I think Zubac. He's up there in rebounds. I think he's top 3, or he might even be number 1. I'm not sure, but he's averaging 18 and 13. And I just saw something the other day where it was what if the Lakers didn't trade Zubac? That Lakers team would be filthy right now. But, you did that to a lot of guys. You did it to Brandon Ingram, you did Alonzo, you did it to Julius Randle, you did it to a lot of people. Josh Hart. So, that's just what the organization does. But, that's beside the point.
Who's the second person?
I see Dyson Daniels was at 2 in leading for votes, and then Cade Cunningham was 3, but it was by a mile though. But I think that's kind of disrespectful in a sense. I think Cade Cunningham did have a pretty dang good season. I mean, he's the best player on his team, and I think he's improved from leading his team from a joke franchise to a
6 seed.
To a 6 seed, yeah. But I do think Zubac in the end of the day will win most improved. Ray, what you think? While Marcel's looking up my DeAndre Hunter.
give me Dyson Daniels.
See, I'm not mad at that either.
Not
mad at that.
His biggest thing when he was on the Pelicans, right?
Yeah.
Was his offensive output. He was kind of a liability even on that end. But this year, he's picked it up. He's learned how to play make a lot better. Occasional 3-ball, 1, maybe 2 a game, which isn't crazy, but it's better than for, say, a Thompson twin who's basically 0 every game, right? And I think his playmaking actually is pretty above average, really pretty solid. He's had more opportunity due to injury, but even before, when his role was kind of play off guard, play make, and defend, he was still, in my opinion, one of the front runners for MIP. Even putting up even putting up like similar numbers when everybody else was in the lineup, just based on how fast they played and him contributing more on defense, which led to offense. So I think he showed a lot of strides in his game, which makes him deserving of the MIP. I think that Big Zoo and Cade, like, they've already been guys in this league, and that's the only reason why I'm going Daniels, because when I think of, like, MIP, I don't think of, like, dudes who are guys and then they've kind of become better. I think of more so, like, people weren't talking about Daniels at all last year, or when he was on the Pels. Like, they're kind of hating on him, calling it a bust. Like, it's not working out. That's why he got traded, because that franchise kind of gave up on him. So that's why I got Daniels.
Those were the top three. It was Cade.
It was Cade, Zubac, and Dyson Daniels.
Yeah.
And Marcel, before you go, I just want to let you know.
Kuzma.
No, I looked it up too.
DeAndre Hunter only started 9 games this season.
Do you know why?
18-6-1.
No.
That's bad for assists.
Do you
but
know why though?
Why did he? Please
Because
tell
he started off the start of the season. He started, right, and then he got injured. He was out till I think October, and he was out till like November, and then he came back and they put him on the bench. But he still had more minutes than.
He's like Malik.
But he still averaged 17 a game this season.
like Malik Beasley.
DeAndre Hunter.
I think but again,
I got the stats, bro.
I'm not gonna lie though,
So-
like I feel like.
But I
This is
will
my
say
thing
though,
with-
Mobley. I just saw something right now too. It said that Mobley's not playing the first game against whoever, and it says DeAndre Hunter is gonna fill in for that starting spot.
Why he strained his phallus?
I think he's still hurt. I think Mobley's still hurt. So I think that first game against, who did we say? Either
Hawks or
Heat
Heat.
or Hawks. Yeah, Hawks or Heat. That he's not
Oh,
playing.
Heat's winning. Nah.
I thought you said the Hawks though.
Hawks are winning. That's true.
I actually
That's
thought,
in the last episode. Go watch the last episode. We did a whole debate.
I thought Christian Brown was going to be in this conversation, but I guess no.
Bro, he should be.
He should be though. I'll give him that. He
Over
should be.
Cade.
Over Cade. I think
Yeah.
there's a difference with guys like Cade, for example. Cade was this good at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people didn't really want to tune in because they were losing so many games. But he was already this good at the end of last season. He just kept it going into this season. Right? You could say that about Zubac too. Like a lot of guys are that good, and then there's guys who you just start giving them the ball a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's kind of a difference. With a guy like Christian Brown, I think they give him the ball the same as much, right? But the difference, he just became a better shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He became an even better defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's better finishing at the rim. But with those three, I think it would have to be Zubac. Out of the three, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Even Dyson Daniels, I don't really know how that's been going. I just thought it was going to be a completely different couple of guys up there, honestly. But
Yeah.
So now we have coach of the
year.
Coach of the year. So we have, I think right now leading, we have Kenny Atkinson from Cleveland, JB Bickerstaff from Detroit in second, and then from a low-key kind of far in voting, it's Ime Udoka from Rockets, right? He's put the Rockets coach.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoot, like we said, they've all done great things for their teams. I mean, my personal opinion, Kenny Atkinson will probably win it. Do I think he should? I honestly think Ime Duka should win it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just an opinion. But if we're gonna talk about who's really gonna go off and win, it's gonna be Kenny Atkinson. Like, not even a debate.
I love how Udoka and Bickerstaff have their young teams competing. I think that's pretty good. That's hard to do. It's hard to build trust around yourself. But I think in terms of maximizing your team's output, Kenny Atkinson and even Mark Daigneault, he wasn't shouted out, Thunder coach, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think it's a toss-up between those two. Like, Kenny Atkinson this year has been revolutionizing that two big lineup and corner cuts. I think that's been amazing to see. To maintain that level of, like, spacing with two bigs by just understanding when to cut behind the defense is actually, like, repeat myself, but amazing to see. Maximizes his bench players as well, which is good. But Mark Daigneault, I mean, he's doing the same thing over there, maximizing his ball handlers and his small ball lineups, all that stuff. Like,
He's not in the top three?
Yeah, he's not even.
He's not top three, no.
Top 3, yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like it should be a toss up between those two. I think they'll give it to Atkinson though, just based on the Cavs hype, and even though the Thunder have the best record, I feel like Atkinson is getting more love because of what he's doing in terms of maximizing, like, his bench unit and with the double big lineup and kind of revolutionizing that offense. So
I would I think Atkinson is gonna win, but I would give it to JB Bickerstaff because I think it's harder to go from how bad the Pistons were last year, and you kind of bring back most of that same core. Obviously, you add guys like I think Tobias is new.
yeah,
Tobias,
some vets.
yeah. Dennis Schroeder's new.
Dennis Schroeder
Some vets.
came kind of late. But
Then you got your rookie Ron Holland. Like, you got guys like that.
Oh, what's that? Marcus Sasser.
Marcus
Marcus
Sasser.
Sasser.
Yep.
but I think
Beef stew.
just to go from that bad to
That's
at least I think with their 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make that jump, I think is really hard, and no discredit to Kenny Atkinson, but the Cavs were a really good team last year, right? They kind of had a lot of talent, and they were still that good, but like Ryan said, he has helped them kind of just become the best version of themselves. So, but in my opinion, I just give it to JB, but two deserve it, very deserving.
Yeah, no, it's hard to get young guys to buy in, honestly.
No, for sure. I agree.
Especially how ghetto they are over there. Fucking everybody fights over there.
Clutch player of the year.
Clutch player of the year.
Yeah.
From what I've seen it's
Brunson Edwards.
Brunson and but
I don't know the third.
I think it's
Shea.
Is it Shea?
Or is this? I think doesn't it? It basically just goes off who's leading in
Clutch points.
points.
Yeah.
I think Brunson is like far out ahead.
Yeah, I just looking at like the Vegas odds and stuff.
Yeah.
Brunson's way ahead than everybody else. So I'd probably say Brunson's gonna win that.
But I don't think it's.
But
Do you
bro,
guys
is
think
it?
that award like actually means who's been the most clutch that year? Because I just think like some teams like just blow other teams out. Like for example, like the Thunder with Shea, they just blow so many teams out. He doesn't play in the clutch minutes.
Yeah, like there's really no clutch time when you play for
That's
the
hella
Thunder.
fair. That's hella fair.
That makes sense.
Bro, even like fuck. Yeah, like even like other teams who like are like okay, I don't know what term clutch points when that is generated, but like some guys just get, not Brunson in general, but some guys I feel like just get going when like
You're down.
You're down like 5-7 points with
need
2
a
minutes
shot.
left, right? You know, like guys like no shade again, but I probably need to get fact checked on this, but like Edwards, I feel like some of his volume may come when he's down and just chucking his threes because he could always get a shot off. I'm not gonna lie, but stuff like that. So I mean, Brunson seems to be the favorite, but I don't know about that.
It's just me, or have I really not seen Brunson get a lot of clutch points this season? Like, I feel like I've never seen Brunson, like, in the clutch and, like, get a bucket. If he's done it, he's maybe done it twice. But, like, let's be real honest.
think the clutch
Jeremy Lamb did it once. Just remember that, bro. So it's like...
I think the clutch is the last 5 minutes, though.
Last 5?
Is that what it is?
That's why, bro. Last 5. Bro.
Last 5 minutes, and you have to be
Max Strus is
within like a
clutch.
10-point game. I think.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. 10-point game in the last 5, bro. Brunson's getting his, so...
I might be wrong, though. It might be last 2 or something like that. But, yeah. Last 2 is not... I don't think it's last 2.
Let us know in the comments below, because we don't know.
Yeah,
but
I think, bro, Shea's hella clutch, honestly.
He is very clutch.
Yeah, he
Shea's
should...
hella clutch.
He was clutch last year in the playoffs against the Mavs.
Yeah,
They're
bro.
going to get that one.
But I do agree with what you said, Sel, about like Shea doesn't get the opportunity to be clutch because their team is so good that they just blow teams out by 30, and then it's like he don't even get to play in the fourth quarter.
Bro, even like Curry, I'm not gonna lie, Curry is.
Well, Curry's up there too.
In terms of just like clutch people. Yeah.
People used to argue with me that Curry wasn't clutch. Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, it's the same argument. They always blow teams out when he was like really, really in his prime. So
Yeah.
Making game-winning shots to me is not clutch. It's clutch. Let me not.
Yeah.
That is not all that defines you being clutch.
I think the more clutch thing is like T-Max scoring 13 points in a minute. That's clutch.
Yeah, like
Now, Jeremy Lamb shooting the half court. It's clutch, but it's not 13 points in a minute, bro. Like, let's be real.
And before we wrap up, I want to kind of ask you guys this real quick. Do you guys think performances or game-winning shots mean more? Right, so if you have a big performance in like a game 7 versus it's a game 7 and I probably play bad the whole game, but I make a step back 3.
Do you still win the game?
You still win the game in both ways.
Okay.
So, well, that means I would probably go performance because you think about it, like, let's say, for instance, right, Aaron Edwards goes for 30. All right, bro, goes for 30. So now let's take it back. Say he didn't have that 30, and he just has 3 points at the end of the game because of an and one he got or a 3-pointer he made. There's 27 points to where you could have blown a team out by 30. So I think it has to come down to performance, not really game-winning shots.
I think even if you lose, though, I think there another player can have kept you in that game the whole time and been the reason why you had the chance to take that last clutch shot, right? Compared to a guy like, let's say, Steph. Steph might have a game in game 7 where he goes and scores 40 or something like that, but they're down 10 because his team around him is just not good. Not saying that's been like a case, but.
Ray, what you think?
I think performance, bro. Because here's the thing, like, when, especially in the playoff times and like finals times, those shots are memorable, but even those shots are memorable for sure. Like, they're brought up in NBA history, basketball history, but in terms of like what your legacy is built off of, I feel like performances have so much more to do with that than a singular game winner. You know what I mean? Like, if it's one or the other, I'm saying like Curry dropped 40 in the playoffs compared to Curry got locked up the whole game, but he hit the game winner. You know?
Yeah.
Or even game, because last thing, but game winners are also like, the other point I was trying to make is game winners are also made by like lesser players too sometimes. Like when Kobe passed the ball to Ron Artest, you know, or like Derek Fisher hitting his game winners. Like,
what's his name? Robert Horry.
Yeah, Robert Horry. Yes, so it's like, that's why I think when good players, you know, get doubled at the end and somebody else has to
Harrison fucking Barnes.
Yeah, step up and hit a shot. You know, they can do that. They're all NBA caliber players, so I think performances are more worthy.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching the BBSB broadcast. And don't forget, like, subscribe. Let us know what your guys' takes on down in the comments below. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. See y'all.